Hey, what's up YouTube? Hope you're doing well and having a good day. For this video, I've got an interesting idea. I'm gonna rate all Dirtmouse NPCs off of how well they would survive in the most dangerous area in the game, Deepnest. Editing note, I now realize I missed all the Grim Troop NPCs, apologies for that, but they just slipped my mind when planning stuff out. Anywho, I'm gonna rate them off of two factors: how well they'd survive, and how much they'd enjoy the challenge. Each is a 1 to 5 scale. Now that all that's out of the way, let's just jump right in. First up, I've got Zote the Mighty. His words, not mine. Honestly, I think Zote has a pretty good chance. I mean, he seems pretty strong and powerful and cool and stuff. Sure, he got trapped by a Vengeful King, but we all make mistakes, so can't blame him. He also must be pretty awesome, since Bretta seems to really like him. So I'd say he must have a pretty good Ha! You really thought I was complimenting Zote? No, the guy has proven he can't survive. Plus, he sucks. So, because Zote is just awful, he gets a 1 out of 5 on survivability chance and a 3 out of 5 on enjoyment. He's already proven he can't survive, and he does enjoy a good challenge, even if he sucks at them. And yes, I'm using my Watcher Knight creation to dance in the background. Next up, I got our homie Elderbug. Elderbug is a goated character, don't get me wrong, with infinite aura. But I mean, you have to accept, he's old. Like, really old. So what's he gonna do in the most dangerous part of Hallownest besides Abyss, if you're talking about lore? Elderbug unfortunately stands next to no chance. So I can't give him much. When he's in Dirtmouse, however, he may as well be as cool as Coral. I love Coral. So don't say I hate Elderbug when you hear my ratings on him, alright? My ratings on Elderbug are going to be 0 out of 5 on survivability, just because of what I talked about previously. And I think he could find the slightest entertainment out of the trek through the dang dark place. So a 2 out of 5 on enjoyment. Yes, they're harsh, but unfortunately true. Following Elderbug is one of my friend's personal favorite characters, but I don't like her myself. To interact with her here, I'll have to kill these enemies real quick. Which I forgot to upgrade my nails to debug mod, so it might take a second. We have Kloss. Kloss is the warrior type, so I'd say she has a decent chance. On the other hand, she's losing to a couple enemies from Ancient Basin right here. Enemies arguably easier than the terrors of Deepnest, especially if you're looking at lore. Of course, she does show up and do this. And then, not very long after the same fight, this. Overall, I don't think she has an awful chance of surviving. I think that she has a 3 out of 5 on survivability chance and a 4 out of 5 on enjoyment level. Just like Zote, seems like she enjoys a good challenge. So that's what I'm saying for her. Next is someone who is hard to decide just because of his story. It's Tiso. Tiso is another warrior, lots of those in this game, but an interesting case of it. He's super cocky, like Zote, but he's also most likely pretty good at combat, unlike Zote. Tiso wants to challenge the knight in the Coliseum of Fools, thinking he could beat us. Could he? Well, we never exactly find out because of, well, this. Tiso was crushed by a brooding Moloch in the Coliseum, but we don't know how many enemies he killed before dying. When the player runs the Trial of the Fool, Brooding Moloch shows up around halfway through, so it'd probably be around the same for Tiso. In the player-made mod Pale Court, Tiso becomes a boss fight and is noticeably hard and powerful, but that's not from the actual game, so I mean, you can't really count it. Just because Tiso is so hard to decide, I'm going to give him a 3.5 out of 5 on survivability. He most likely made it through quite a bit of the Coliseum, and maybe he even became a champion and decided to challenge the warriors again. Either way, We can't really know much about this character just because of how mysterious he is. For enjoyment, just like Klaus and Zote, I think he would enjoy Deepnest quite a bit, so a 4. After Tiso, I have Iselda. What's Dirtmouse without that good old Bapanada? Now, I don't know much about Iselda except for her having that big, fat, juicy sales, guys. Anyways, I don't know much about Iselda. I don't have much to say about her. She's kind of boring and always depressed looking, honestly. But her and Cornifer did most likely travel quite a ways to get the Hallownest. I'm not going to give her much since she doesn't even leave the shop, so how much can she really do, you know? I'm giving Iselda a 3 out of 5 on survivability chance, maybe a 4 because we don't know how far her and her husband traveled to get here. Her enjoyment rating is going to be 0, due to the fact that she does not seem to enjoy anything at all. Also, I apologize for the fan noise in the background. I have no clue what it is. I think it could be my laptop fan, so nothing I can do about that. Sorry. And after that, I have the best shopkeeper, Sly. Sly is such a little small dude, but he is a great nail sage that did happen to teach the 3 Nailmaster brothers that we know of. These 3 right here, Oromato and Shio. And not to mention, he's a pretty tough boss with quite the large nail. He is also the one that sells you the Lumify Lantern, so I personally wouldn't be surprised if he's already been to Deepnest. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if any of these NPCs have already been to Deepnest. Sly's ratings are going to be big, with a whopping 4.5 out of 5 on survivability because of the fact that he's a nail sage, and a 5 out of 5 on enjoyment. The exact opposite of Iselda, I think Sly enjoys absolutely everything he does. Last but absolutely not least is Cornifer, the map maker. Now, you might think, this guy's literally sitting here, shivering in fear when he's in Deepnest. How would he ever survive? He does not like it at all. But then you have to realize, why is he there? He's there because he was mapping the area, and he's giving you his map, and he mapped out a pretty good portion of Deepnest. So, literally, he has been to most of Deepnest and survived and made it back to the entrance, and he's obviously in another location at the other entrance. So he has survived Deepnest. And that means that he's gonna have to get a really good rating on his survivability, right? And, yeah, that's just Cornifer, man. Cornifer is gonna be our first and only 5 out of 5 on survivability. He did survive while drawing a map at the same time. Cornifer can simply explore and survive anywhere. The only places he hasn't is the Abyss and the Hive. And he simply couldn't get into the Abyss. And for the Hive, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he just didn't know it exists. I mean, it's a pretty secretive place. For enjoyment, though, I can't be quite as generous, seeing as he is very fear-stricken when we first find him. So I'm gonna say probably a 3 out of 5 on enjoyment, maybe like a 2.5. And for Cornifer, definitely he is probably the best odds out of any NPC, seeing as he did. And you might be like, oh, but Zote made it like halfway through Deepnest, but he's not actually that far, really. I mean, like, Deepnest is big, yeah. But, yeah. And with that, we've covered all the Dirtmouse NPCs, other than the Grim Troop. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I would really appreciate it if you like and subscribed. I worked really hard on this one. Once again, I'm sorry about any fans or noises in the background. I tried to find the cause every time I was hearing it, but I couldn't, and anytime I did, I turned it off or moved it. I haven't posted in a while because I haven't found the time to finish the voiceover on this video. But I finally got a chance to finish and deliver this, so I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.